Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Parents filled the boardroom for BCSD last night, waiting to hear the fate of the summer school program. We'll have the board's decision coming up.
The Condors skated back on home ice in a big way. Fan reaction from Condors Town after Bakersfield took the series lead in round one of the Calder Cup playoffs.
And we're firing up the grill for a great cause and some delicious tri-tip, how to help local kids stay off the streets. And grab lunch with us while you're at it. This is Wednesday, April 24th, 2019.
The decision has been made. The Bakersfield City School District finalized its plan for a modified summer school program. You may remember originally the district announced it would cut the program altogether, but after an uproar from students, parents, and some staff members, the district came back with a modified plan. They approved that plan at last night's board meeting. BCSD will offer 16 days of summer school at 4 schools: Casa Loma, Longfellow, and Stella Hills Elementary Schools and Emerson Middle School for students who attend those schools. But since not all students can attend the modified school program, some parents are not pleased.
My children have attended every year. Not by choice at first. It was more like a must because I was full-time employed, and throughout the years they started loving it. They got to meet other kids from other schools. They got to learn things ahead of time.
District officials say the funds that would normally go toward the full summer school program will instead support the formal launch of extended learning academies across 43 school campuses. The Greater Bakersfield Legal Assistance has filed a formal complaint with the California Department of Education over the changes made to the summer school program. The Bakersfield City School District declined to comment following their decision at last night's meeting.
It's 5:03 now. A shocking crash in Northern California after a driver plowed into a crowd of pedestrians. It happened last night in Sunnyvale, a city just north of San Jose. Witnesses say the driver was speeding and did not slow down. Police believe the driver intentionally drove into the pedestrians. Officers arrested that driver. Paramedics took 8 people, including a 13-year-old, to the hospital. No word on how they're doing this morning. Flags at CSUB will fly at half-staff today for the campus as the community remembers a student who was hit and killed by a truck several weeks ago. The campus is holding a memorial for Jason Kelly. He was hit and killed April 2nd while walking near Bakersfield College. The service begins at 12:30 this afternoon at Alumni Park. It will feature printed pictures of Kelly and his favorite yellow rose bouquet.
The search continues this morning for a person or persons wanted in connection with a double shooting in East Bakersfield. It happened just after 5:30 last night in an alley south of Flower and Haley Streets. The Kern County Sheriff's Office says 1 or 2 men approached 2 other men and started shooting. One man was shot in the chest, another in the leg. This is the latest in a string of shootings that started in Bakersfield over the weekend.
Obviously, the welfare of our community is the utmost importance to us, and we're going to do everything we can to help solve these issues. But we need the community support. And anybody with information about this or any of the other multiple incidents that have occurred in this area, please come forward and let us know.
Paramedics took both men to the hospital. No word on how they're doing this morning. If you have any information about the shooting, you're asked to call KCSO at 861-3110. An electric crowd packed Rabobank Arena to cheer the Condors to victory in Game 3 of the Calder Cup playoffs. 6,214 people were at last night's game against the Colorado Eagles. As fans waved their rally towels, the Condors played off that energy on home ice to try and take a 2-1 series lead headed into Game 4 on Saturday. Well, it paid off. The Condors skated off the ice with a 5-2 win over the Eagles.
Oh, it's amazing. I've been a season ticket holder for 3 years now, and we haven't had playoff hockey since 2014 here when we were the ECHL, and now that we're AHL, this is amazing. It's great. The fans are excited. The town's excited. We're just all excited. We're ready for playoff hockey.
This is the coolest thing ever. First couple of years in the AHL, #1, we're going all the way.
Game 4 is set for 7 o'clock Saturday night at Rabobank Arena. And then, if necessary, Game 5 will be played at 5 o'clock on Sunday night, also at Rabobank. And if the Condors win on Saturday, they will advance to the second round to play either San Jose or San Diego. Right now, the San Diego Gulls lead the series 2-1, with Game 4 in San Jose set for tonight. Really exciting, of course, for the Condors. And Bakersfield Congressman Kevin McCarthy was also at last night's game. He posted this picture on Instagram after escorting the veteran of the night, retired Sergeant Richard Oldenburg, onto the ice for recognition. It is 5:20 now, and a big man with an even bigger heart.
And as Tabitha joins us to explain this morning, that same man's also the inspiration behind a nonprofit aimed at helping kids in our community.
That's right. Good morning, Maddie and Alex. Rod Banducci was a button willow farmer whose legacy continues today through the lives of children he'll never meet. 26 miles northwest of Bakersfield, you'll find the unincorporated farming town of Button Willow. Roughly 7 square miles of what used to be known as cotton country. The population, a little more than 1,500. If you live here, you're family. Rod Banducci lived here.
He grew up here farming with his dad. He was a good farmer. He was a good person. He was a good friend. He was just an all-around good guy.
He was a gentle giant, standing 6'8", a quiet man who loved his family and his community.
He just had a great heart. He was a good guy.
When he wasn't farming, he was volunteering, most often as a coach for youth sports.
You could just tell it was in his eyes to work with kids, and it was kind of funny because normally you'd think a little 5-year-old kid would be timid by a 6'8" person, but he had that demeanor that everybody loved Rod.
October 2013, Rod suffered a massive heart attack and died. He was 57 years old. His death devastated the Button Willow community.
I just wanted his name and his memory to stay out there. I didn't want it to be over in 2013.
In 2017, the charitable foundation Rod's Heart became a reality. In 3 years, the nonprofit has raised $190,000, donating the money to pediatric medical causes in Kern County, including donations to Memorial Hospital's Pediatric Emergency Wing at the Robert A. Grimm Children's Pavilion, as well as the Grossman Burn Center and Valley Children's Hospital. Rod's heart, in a way, continues to beat today.
He's still impacting people's lives.
Rod's Heart will hold a steak dinner and fundraising auction in Button Willow this Saturday, and anyone interested in making a donation, or if you'd just like more information about Rod's Heart, you can head to our website, kget.com.
What an incredible legacy.
Yeah, great man.
Thanks so much, Tabs. Welcome back. They say America runs on Dunkin', and apparently Bakersfield does too. The iconic East Coast chain Dunkin' Donuts is opening another store in Bakersfield. Signs for another store popped up in downtown on 23rd Street yesterday. We reached out to Dunkin' to find out when this new store is opening. The company didn't say exactly when, just that it'll be sometime later this spring. This will be the second Dunkin' location in Bakersfield. The other is at the intersection of Allen and Brimhall Roads in the northwest part of town. There's another one up in Tehachapi. Temperatures are already heating up here in Bakersfield. That means many of us are getting ready to run the air conditioner, or you already have. Many expert Stacey Johnson has tips on how to get your AC ready for summer so it doesn't blow your budget.
Sometimes they don't even realize that they have a filter.
Air conditioning expert Ron Martin has fixed lots of units over his 30 years in the business, and he's seen a lot of preventable problems.
One of the biggest problems I see are dirty filters in the system, which also will attribute to a dirty evaporator coil that's in your house or in your furnace.
Don't wait until the weather heats up and technicians are at a premium. Check your AC now to keep from blowing big bucks later. While some things obviously do require a professional, there are things you can do yourself. For example, changing your filters takes less than 2 minutes, and it's the single biggest bill buster. The pipe that carries condensation can get clogged. Use an algicide to prevent a messy backup. If you don't have a programmable thermostat, adding one can really help you lower your bills. And you can install it yourself if you're at all handy. I did this one. The coils on the outside unit need to be cleaned to work properly. If you can use a hose, you can do this in a couple of minutes. And make sure there's nothing restricting the airflow. Then, check your ductwork and make sure you don't have leaks. Otherwise, you could be air conditioning the attic or basement. Bottom line, when it comes to air conditioning, be cool. Do the things you can yourself. Hire a tech if you need one, but get it done before it heats up. Want more information on how to save on energy? Simple. Go to moneytalksnews.com and just do a search for energy savings. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacy Johnson.
Money Talks is brought to you by your local consumer credit counseling service. If you've got debt problems or just want some free budget counseling, call today.
Thanks for listening to the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's a 15-minute summary of everything you need to know about Kern County. There's a new episode every weekday.